Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the stream today. It is your host, Ace. I'm going to give it a few moments for everybody to hop on before we do begin. Let me go ahead and get this on. Let's get this out of here. Why does it say my name is HackermanAce6197? I'll have to fix that. But let's go ahead and get this shared. All right, let's get this going. There we go. All right, let's wait for everybody to... Let's wait for everybody to go ahead and get in here, and then we'll begin. Let me go ahead and get my door closed here. All right. Let's wait for some peoples, and we will begin. While I wait, I gotta take care of some kind of lunch or food. I'm starving. Alright, and actually let me let my Discord know as well. Real Talk MVP over here with the retweet. Thank you. You're the best. Yeah, pretty crazy day that we ended up just gapping down all day long. Only thing I've done so far, I mean, I ended up grabbing some puts over here and there, and ended up grabbing some calls just to balance things out. Just that recently just ended up getting out of these when we ended up pumping over here. So looking to scale back in unless we can start recovering a little bit, but I think we can go down just a little bit more now that we're starting to break down a couple more levels over here. Dude, thank you. I appreciate that, man. That's what keeps me going and keep doing this stuff. As long as I'm helping somebody out. Yeah, for people who are just coming off from YouTube, I do have a Twitter page if you guys wanted to follow me over here. Just gonna give it like 2 more minutes and then we can begin. Just waiting for everybody to get in here. Starbucks honestly doesn't look too bad. If Starbucks breaks in, it's bad. But overall, Starbucks ended up holding up pretty nicely. I think there was several tickers that ended up holding pretty nicely over here today. Maxer, what the heck is this? Did they just get sold out or something? What's this 100% move on Maxer? I mean, this is one of my favorite tickers to play. I wonder what the reason for the move is. Oh my god, it's all the way up over here. Sheesh. Dang, those are probably options when 10,000%. I'm curious now what they look like on my end. Let's get this open while we wait. Maxer Technologies. This ticker has extreme volatility. Giving me the warning. Yeah, those options exploded if you got in 20,000, 60,000, 900, 1,000, 5,000%. Sheesh, that's insane. Yeah, you get lucky once in a while with these. I think I got lucky one time with the buyout or something like this, or some kind of merger. It was on, I forget which ticker it was, but I ended up getting lucky and everything ended up going about like 10,000%. Almost rarely happens, but if it does happen, it's nice. All right, we can just go ahead and begin. Anybody else can just always record these streams. They are recorded and on YouTube for you guys to watch. All right, so we had some pretty aggressive dumping over here. Yesterday we were discussing that this stuff is down over here at this, inside the clouds over here. So this isn't good that we ended up breaking down over here. The only hope that we have right now is that, let me get to the daily. We do need to go ahead and bounce over here at this FTA. So we have 377 and about 380 is the area that I'm kind of looking for us to go ahead and bounce at. The main thing I think everybody was looking at is we did go ahead and gap fill that gap from 11.9 that we did go ahead and push through. So that is a good sign. We do need to definitely go ahead and start recovering more. It's not completely out the clear yet for... it's not in the clear yet for being fully bearish. We do need to go ahead and break over here to get even worse. At that point, you're looking at about 356. So there is still an opportunity to go ahead and bounce out. The fact that we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 red days, and these last 2 days have been extreme gaps down. I do see us recovering up a little bit and bouncing, hence why I bought a little bit of calls just to balance things out. I did get out of most of them this morning, so I still have a couple left over here. I was aiming for about 395 again for the call side, and for the put side, I'm aiming down over here for about 375. So kind of balancing out the ratio over here around like 3-1, 3-2. Leaning a little bit more towards the put side. So any kind of calls that I do end up getting into, if they end up pumping out, or if I get any kind of moves over 20%, I'm just going to get out and cash out and roll that into puts. Looking into XLE, I believe that ended up breaking down further as well. Yeah, XLE's into the cloud, so this isn't good for XLE. We might get one more little bounce on XLE. I guess I should have shorted with you guys the other day. I didn't even get any of my bids filled yesterday. I set my bids a little too low, so nothing got filled on XLE yesterday. Let's check out the state of gold. Gold's fine. I'm surprised gold has ended up holding up over here. Let's check silver. Silver's holding up. Let's check out Dixie. Dixie's having absolutely no movement. I'm really, really surprised that we're dumping like that, and Dixie's not over here pumping at all whatsoever. So... yeah, that's really interesting with Dixie. And if you guys have any tickers or any kind of requests at all, feel free to put them in. So if we do get some sort of breakout over here, I really do not see us breaking over 106. Right now, we do need to go ahead and flip over 104.95, 105, that area for us to get bullish. And the only thing that's going to result in is that we end up getting some downside pressure with the gold tickers and everything. So let's go pop over here to gold. I did grab some puts on FXC this morning. So we're going to go to the FXC. So I did end up shorting this one, seeing if we end up coming back down a little bit over here. We're reaching the top of the clouds over here on the weekly. So unless we can push through over here, I really don't think this is going to be something that pushes through. So I got late January puts, still fairly in the money, or close to the money for these. So I'm aiming for a little bit lower over here, I would say about this range right over here, around the 94, 95 area. So... while I still do think it can go ahead and break out into the clouds, just not over here right now. Typically, when we end up getting to the clouds like this on the weekly, after a major extension like this, we do end up riding down a little bit, or we end up consolidating a little bit before we break down. So there's two different scenarios over here with this. There is us going up over here and breaking down and getting into here. More likely what I think is going to happen is we're going to end up riding down over here, and then we'll bounce around this point and get in around this point. The most unlikely situation, I think, is that we end up breaking through over here and continuing on through. So I really don't think we're going to continue on through. It's more likely we're going to do something like this. So kind of aiming for this right now. Yeah, I think a lot of the plays for this month. I mean, I've been trying to get everybody to be a little cautious about buying into things. I've been having a lot of DMs, people saying if they want to scale into stuff. While I really can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you that it's better to wait for the end of the month. Just because I believe that's where we're gonna get our pivot is gonna be the first week of January and closer to the end of the month. Everything's dumping out very very nicely, and that's kind of on plan with everything. I think the other stream I discussed with everybody, the timing of markets and everything. Typically in the December time, I assume that we're going to go ahead and dump out because of taxes or whatever financial needs people might have. And then we start kicking things back off in January. We start seeing accumulation. And then February is when we start seeing take profit again, if not in March. So still going to kind of stick to that plan. And you said QQQ FTA is interesting. The weekly is kind of the most interesting thing over here because if we can hold up over here on the purple, this can go ahead and recover back through. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, 4 hours over here at support. So if this can go ahead and bounce off at support, this will be very, very good. 4 hour clouds broke down. So we are at balance points right now for aggressive dumps. It's a matter of, what day is it today? Today is Friday. It's Friday and this is happening. So, yeah, I would say by next week, Wednesday, if we don't start bouncing up out over here, I'm going to go ahead and grab some more shorts for this one. I don't know if I want to grab too much more because it's Friday today. So I don't know if I want to hold anything over the weekend. But Monday's going to be a super important day to play some plays. And typically I don't play on Mondays, but this Monday should be good since we've had this aggressive dump down. And if you guys have tickers, feel free to put them in. Eben over here. Nope, that's dead. Let's see what else was green today. Go down to the daily actually. See, there's tickers like this which are breaking out, which makes me want to grab just commons of these. Anything underneath $5, I typically end up buying commons on rather than options. So API is setting up really nicely. X trying to hold up. X is going over an FTA right now. I need to take my own advice with this FTA stuff as well. AGI is the gold ticker that we've been discussing. Everything is still good. Cloud structure is still fine. Just normal pullbacks after major extensions. IQ, China tickers. These are still managing to hold up somehow. I do think these are going to pull back a little bit more, but overall what we're looking on right now over here is on the weekly. If these can get into the clouds on the weekly, these should go ahead and run to about 537. But overall, I mean, China has been doing very, very good over the last couple weeks. If we notice over here, it's just been running up after it had the B-bands extension down over here. So a little bit of consolidation over the Kijun, if not the B-bands. And then we'll figure out later on if we're going to be breaking through all the way. Yeah, so not the best lines in the world, but... Yeah, like SLV weekly over here. SLV V weekly ended up pushing out over here. So this one should come back down to about 20. And then we should go ahead and push through. So the target still remains over here at 23. We just want to make sure we're not breaking below 20. GVO, still waiting for that breakout on GVO. Still not getting anything just yet. There's a little bit of volume coming in, but we do still need to go ahead and clear over this 212 area. And then we'll start getting a little bit of action on GVO. Hershey still remains bullish. EEM, China ticker going over the FTA. What else do we have? Copper still looks very, very good. Let me check the base ticker for this, FCX. Yeah, FCX is just kind of lingering around support over here. So a little bit more consolidation before some of these tickers hold up. If we do get a little bit more downside, that is okay if we do get just a little bit more. So we can extend it down to about 37. But these all still should be 100% fine. Normal pullbacks with this. BA managing to hold up. So there are a lot of tickers still managing to hold up over here regardless of the 3 days of constant dumping. XBI doesn't look good at all, so we're really compressed on XBI over here. If for some reason we start losing support over here with XBI, this should just start dumping down to about 70, and we're at 80 right now. Mu not looking too good. That makes me want to check XOX. Yeah, so SOX is going over the FTA right now. You guys need to remind me when we're going through the FTA and to follow my rules. I think I warned everybody, but I didn't end up warning myself, so I took a little bit of a... Well, I'm more so in drawdown. I'm not overly concerned about a lot of things. The ones that I took a loss on were those SPY calls that I ended up grabbing. And those are the ones I grabbed the other day. I looked at them this morning. They're worthless. CMCA over an FTA. Most of these FTA points, if you notice over here, these FTAs end on 1228. So that's why it's super important to pay attention to these FTA, because you really want to be careful when you're trading in between these FTA zones on Ichi. So just something to be cautious about. You want to notice when they end. When they end is typically when things start getting back to normal. So a lot of these start ending around 1228. If you notice cloud structures with other tickers, the cloud walls, like just really quickly hopping over to Bitcoin over here. If you notice over here with Bitcoin, the cloud wall over here is at 1228. Was trying to get across to people that this shit is bearish. This is not going anywhere. So we're riding down the clouds right now. A little bit more chop over here until we get to the 1228 point. What we want to figure out with Bitcoin over here is making sure we make it up to this point, and then we break through over there. If not, what's going to end up happening is we're just going to end up riding down, and then you're looking at about 15, 16K at the target point. So, I mean, right now, I'm still looking for about the 14K area right now. Ideally, which would be the best case scenario for crypto, would be is if we get when we get to around this 15K point, we have a major wick down to about 13K, maybe even wick down a little bit lower. But we're looking for a major wick to actually get in things and start scaling in. So until I see some sort of major wick to the downside, it's just going to be shorting everything. If we get wicks to the upside, they're failure points as well. So just like we had a wick the other day, it failed over here. I mean, it wasn't going to go anywhere until we start clearing some kind of high points, and I'll keep reiterating that to people over and over again. Let me just pull this chart up just real quick for my crypto folks, then we can get back to stocks. I mean, I've said this yesterday, and I say it again before. This same thing works on lower time frames as well, so just got to adjust your expectancy. This is our top point, top point, top point, top point, top point, pre-dump point. Like, until we can start clearing some of these high points and those pre-dump points, it's not going anywhere. We are literally not going to be going anywhere with anything with crypto. So anybody spilling you any kind of hopium or anything like that, just mute them. They're not going to get you anything. The only time those people are going to be good is if we're in a bull market and things are going to be going up. It's easy to be a genius in a bull market, and it's a lot harder to be a genius in a bear market. Bear market, you sound like a genius if you drop big words and just drop hopium here and there. Good example is GCR's feed. Let's keep going back to stocks over here. Let's go to retailers and see how that sector is holding up over here. Where is everybody? You know, I'm going to actually start unfollowing people because none of the big accounts support my shit at all. So they can go fuck themselves. My small viewers that are always on here, I always end up doing it. Let me see if this can actually... Let me just try something. Oh, cool. I'll be, after this stream, I'll be actually into, Zeta Market stream. They actually just messaged me that they're going to be doing, a Spaces over here. Let me go ahead and get this in here. This is the one where I said I'm going to do my Twitch streams and we're going to be doing some live trading over here. So let me get this in chat. That is Zeta's Discord if you guys wanted to hop in there later and chat around. Let me check something. Since we don't have that many people on right now, I just want to check a couple things over here for something. My buddy keeps blowing me up about that OpenAI ticker, and I didn't want to grab anything until we actually started clearing some of those ranges over here. Yeah, so this is a no-go. I mean, I'm super strict on my DEX tool tickers, so if you guys are doing DEX tool tickers, you can try to buy dips and stuff, but yeah, I'm not going to buy dips on things like on DEX tools unless I see a clear trend. Like, if it's a clear trend, it's a lot easier to play things on DEX tools. But when we're seeing something that's just inside a range, I'm not going to be trading a range inside of DEX tools. It's annoying, it's difficult, and I just don't have the time to sit there and do that. What's the price range over here? Yeah, I mean, I guess you will be able to get some 30-40% pumps over here, but ideally I want to catch a run. I don't want to catch a range. I do not like doing range plays on DEX tool tickers. But not bad. I mean, I guess it's pretty good that if you ended up playing a range over here from previously. So still remains the range over here if you wanted to do bids over here and sell bids up there. But the issue with that is if we do start breaking below the range, it ends up being an invalidation. So this could be a deviation, but again, still a pass for me. What else do we have over here? Aerospace and defense is managing to hold up over here. Yo, I appreciate everybody that is in here for the few people that are here. Dollar General is another one. If we can flip over here at 252, that'll be a long trigger. I think most of people should just, again, should be really, really cautious getting into things right now. Again, I still think that the last week of this month is going to be where you guys want to scale into things. The only other things that I really did scale into today is some of the silver plays that I was already scaling into before. Let's check out Sprouts. Sprouts is up here. Let's check the state of those gold tickers. Yeah, so those gold tickers are starting to bounce off from yesterday's red day. Again, this is the setup that we're looking for right now, is the monthly B-Bands consolidation below at this point, and we're still looking at about the 954. We're still looking for a breakout over here. If you guys notice, essentially the end target over here is going to be the $12 point, so we're looking for big, big targets over here. So it's not small targets, and that's why we're in comments for these things right now. CDE. This is the only one that looks like shit is CDE. That's the only one I don't want to play. NG, all the other ones are still looking fine. Though this is another one that's a little bit more high risk is something like AGI. But AGI looks like it's ready to go ahead and pop up for another move up. And we're looking at about $12 for that move up over here. So it is overextended over here, so a little bit more consolidation can help. Just keep in mind, anything that's over here on the upper B bands, you want to definitely lower down your size over here if you're playing something like that. And for the feds that listen, I don't tweet about any tickers or talk about any tickers that are like low float tickers. I hate OTC tickers. Absolutely despise them. I hate playing them. I don't even have a broker I can play them on. As far as like shilling options and strike points, I try my best not to tell you guys which strike point. I definitely don't like tweeting about it. I don't mind talking about it on stream because there doesn't end up being that many people. I don't think 10, 15 people are going to be able to move the market, and it's definitely not whales in here that are going to be, unless there are some whales, but I really don't think my stream viewers are going to be over here pumping markets, so I'm personally not worried about that at all whatsoever. This is something that I do want to scale into. If we can get a little bit of a pullback more over here, I wouldn't mind grabbing the options over here. Let's actually check them out and see what they're priced at. This is the one I do want to grab something for. IAG... Trade options. We're looking for February right now. Yeah, so February is priced out properly for me. Let me make sure there's open interest. Nope, there isn't. So that is a concern right there. I got out of everything that we were in last time. We were in $2 calls for January. There's more open interest right now to where I don't believe this is going to be pumping more. It's priced back at about 15-20 cents. So yeah, that's not something I want to go ahead and buy. So January 20th is the expo. Let's see what we're getting over here. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to want to scale into for these is $2 calls for March 17th. Those are the ones that I kind of want to scale into. They are up a little bit today, hence why I want to hope we get a little bit of a red day. I should have grabbed these yesterday, didn't pay attention to this, but that's what I want to scale into now. The previous ones we scaled into ended up going about 200-300%, and these should do the same thing. Hopefully we get, I can scale into these around 20-25 cents. They're priced right now at 30 cents to 35 cents, but these should end up doubling out over here. What we're looking for is we're looking for these to get back in the money, and we're looking for them to get deep in the money, because once we flip over here at this 240 point, we're looking at about the $3 target over here. So that should pay out really nicely. I mean, all these gold tickers have been paying out really nicely for the past couple months. At this point, it's just consolidation and patience. A lot of you guys are in NEM and always asking me about NEM. NEM looks fantastic still. There's nothing wrong with NEM. Just kind of consolidating over here before we do move up again. Passing over through an FTA. So everything is still fine. You're still looking at about 58 for the target over here. Sand. Sand does have a bearish TK over here, so you do need it to break over this 331 point, which it should. Again, just a couple more days of consolidation. Sand is breaking down over here, so this isn't the best setup for sand. So sand does need to go ahead and hold up over here on the clouds. If it does break down, that'll be bad. Let's see. Yeah, this is AUI still good. A little bit more consolidation before we pop up. KG Steel still good. SA ended up breaking down below the cloud, so it does need to recover back over. For this one, you'd probably want a little bit higher of a recovery point. You'd probably want 1215 to clear rather than just the cloud top over here. So 1215 needs to clear. This would be the Kijun over here, and ideally the volume profile. So the purple line is the POC for the volume profile. That's kind of what you want to flip to get us to keep going over here. EQX over here, you don't want it to break below the volume profile. If it consolidates a little bit more, it's okay. RGLD, kind of just bouncing up and down, broke back down below the monthly B-band. So, again, we do need to flip back over the B-bands line so we can keep going. Just keep in mind, a lot of the stocks are getting oversold right now, so we should get some sort of bounce and some sort of relief. And that's going to be very, very important to see how that relief goes. So no need to scale into things hardcore. If anything, you guys should be learning on how to trade things and just practicing setups that you guys are learning slowly. So yeah, practicing is probably your best thing to do for the next week or two. It's at the end of the month is when we want to start scaling in and getting a little bit more serious on things. EQX, that's the one we already went over. GFI's breaking down over here. So if GFI doesn't bounce out over here on the clouds, it'll consolidate a little bit more, looking for more of a bounce at the 938 point. BBN. So yeah, I mean, just by the way things are looking right now with a lot of these metal tickers, it just leads me to believe that Dixie is going to bounce a little bit more and break out. So maybe I end up buying some UUP calls. That should be something that's interesting. So UUP over here, you're looking at an upper target about 28, 29. I don't believe it's going to be, oh wait, it's not going to be breaking over this 29 point, but that's kind of where I'm looking at right now. If we get some relief on Dixie. I'm just surprised that Dixie didn't end up, it didn't end up going up much higher than this one. So with SPY right now, the way things look with SPY, this aggressive dump down that we had over here, I'm just surprised that, well, basically what's going to be happening is if we do end up recovering over here after this FTA at the 392 point, that just means that Dixie is going to be coming down to about 102. So it's technically really, really good for Dixie that things are happening like this, especially if you have a bearish stance on Dixie. If you're bullish on Dixie, well, you need 107 to go ahead and clear to start recovering back over. Going to the 4 hour over here. We do have a 4 hour FTA on Dixie, so if we can manage to clear over the FTA, that'll be another reason for us to push to about that 106, 107 point. But we do need to go ahead and clear all these points before we start getting bullish again for this upper target. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's that many people right this moment, so if you guys have any questions or if I have any requests at all, let me know. I can go ahead and check them out. I'm just going to go ahead and bounce around things since we don't have that many people in right now. I guess I should go live on Twitch too and let people know I'm live on YouTube as well. Hog is another one that's interesting over here. If we break into the clouds, that's not going to be bad. So a lot of these things are starting to curve out. And I guess the thing that I'm more so concerned about is that I don't know if I'm in denial of the fact that we might pull back a little bit further, because we do have a gap over here on Hog over here at 25 point. So if Hog does break into the clouds, I would be more so aiming for the gap fill over here. Costco, I mean, I said I was already bearish on Costco. I do see Costco breaking down further. So right now I'm looking at the 445 for a bounce point. And if for some reason we lose that point, we're looking at 385. What I will do is I'm going to actually do some sort of giveaway over here. So I'm going to set up a giveaway. I don't know how it's going to work, because if it's only a couple people, I don't want to do it. But I do want to give it away for like 500 or 1,000 bucks and get a couple people in here for that one. Yeah, Hal's one over here, so I wouldn't mind grabbing puts on Hal over here. So this is something that I wouldn't mind grabbing if we can, if we refuse to break back over 37. TSN, Tyson Foods got rejected, no cloud entry over here. ExxonMobil trying its hardest to stay up. I don't believe this is going to go ahead and last. It does need to clear over 108, so it should go ahead and pull back much more. What else do we have? Let me actually open my door back up because my dog is crying. Let me get out of here. Go ahead, go. Stinky. What else do we have? Yeah, I mean, I think personally, the fact that we're getting this kind of volatility on Bitcoin and the fact that we did go ahead and run up like that, I think that's probably a better play for me to do. This week I made a little bit more money on the crypto side of things just because bids filled and it was a lot easier to do things on Bitcoin. So right now we're trying to hold up on the Kijun point over here. So what you'd want to do is set up your bids a little bit higher. So go into the 4 hour over here. If we're looking for any kind of relief, so setting bids at 17,235 is one point. You got another point at 17,4, and you got your final point at 17,566. And the way I typically end up doing my order sets is, so let's just say I'm putting bids over here, here, and here. It'll be lower size over here. I'll increase my size over here, and then that'll be my max size. And essentially the whole entire idea with that one is I'm okay with making profit over here and just taking out even if we don't fill up those upper ranges. If for some reason we do start pushing up to this upper range and we're looking like we're going to flip, I know that if we get aggressive volatility to that third point, let's just say I am wrong with my plays. Since that is a bigger size, I'll be able to manage my plays a little bit more and then be able to get out over here with a little bit more profit or less of a loss than I would have. So position sizing is super, super important. I'm actually going to start applying at a couple brokers and USA firms. So I'm going to get all my Twitter stuff together and all my streams together and see what we can do over here. So I'm going to be a little bit more serious on Twitter with things. So that's why I'm going to unfollow a couple people there and get things going. Alright, I'm going to get off right now because it doesn't look like that many people are hopping on right now. I'm actually going to be in the Zeta Discord with these guys and hanging out in here. So if anybody does want to hang out over here ahead of time, I'm going to see if I can hop into their voice chat. Can I? I think I can. Let me just make sure. Ooh, I can hop in. Disconnect quietly. Yeah, if you guys wanted to hang out in there and chat with me, I'll be in there and we can chat in there. So... yeah, gonna get off on this one a little bit early, and I will stream again on YouTube later when I go ahead and announce it. I probably have to put my schedule on my Twitter page. That way everybody knows what's going on over here. So, the couple people that are in here, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go live in Zeta's Discord and discuss things with them, and then I'll be live later on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Actually, I'm gonna do it at 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Seems like it's better of an audience at that point. So. Yeah, eventually my YouTube audience will grow back up. I'm not concerned about that one. I know things are a little bit dead right now, just because I switched over to a new platform and I don't have the same following on here. So, yeah, just hang in there. I'm sure it'll get exciting.